everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
Back.
We are back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The lion. Here. The lion. New man so fine. Kirk Cousins.
All right. I am Janae Strother.
I am Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.
We are Washington football. We're Washington Football Weekly, and we are here for you. What's going on? It's your boy Sean Spencer on this lovely Wednesday. How you doing, people? And you already know who I'm here with. I'm here with the shirtless wonder, my guy, Abs. Yes, sir. I'm here with Doug K, Will Kramer. What is the word, guys? How we doing today, man?
Always good.
I'm definitely blessed to be here with my boys, man. I'm happy to be here, man. Thank you.
Let's get it. And hey, this week we're definitely gonna shout out our mans. Anton Benton couldn't be with us, had some pressing matters he had to handle. He'll be back next week, but we'll pick up where he left off. So look forward to that. Before we get started this week, and we're talking about the defense, I definitely want to take just a minute really quick. I know we're in March, but on the last day of Black History Month, famed news anchor Irv Cross passed away. For those of you guys that do not know, Irv Cross was the first African American to be on a full-time sports broadcasting position in early 1971. He signed with CBS. For most people might recognize him from the late 70s when he was on with, oh my goodness, Jimmy the Greek was on there with him. Brent Musburger was on there. And I can't think of what the lady's name was, but she also passed away. They were on, and he was an ex-player, played from 61 to 69, played with Eagles, one of the first black players to ever get drafted by the Eagles, then got traded to the Rams. He was a kick returner and a cornerback, came back to the Eagles as more of a player coach. He was one of the first athletes to make that transition from the field to the booth. So he had specific insight. But the big thing about him, and it's the thing that my father, who is with us, if you like to get in the camera, you can. It's the main thing my father always pressed, being a young black man, is that you articulate, you enunciate, your back's up, make sure you let people know who you are. Yeah. And Irv Cross did that every single week. He not only did football, did college basketball, gymnastics, and track and field. So got to shout out to you, Irv Cross. You did so many amazing things and made it possible for people like myself, people like Abdul, to have even an opportunity to be in this forefront in journalism. So definitely shout out to you. But yeah, let's get into it this week, because this week we're talking about the best part of the team and the most solid part of the team, our defense. Yeah. That defense that shut down the 11-0 Steelers offense 4 times at the Lions. Okay, that defense that after Hardy intercepted it and our man Scary Terry McLaurin tackled him at the 2. That defense that shut them down and held them to the field goal, and they ended up putting the icing on the cake with the sweat interception at the end of the game. That defense, okay, is the anchor of this team. And without further ado, Will, let's get into it right now, man. Topic number 1, maybe the best part and my favorite part of that defense, that D-line. Will, what's up, man?
Yeah. How lucky are we that not only do we have the team have a good defense, but then on defensive line, the studs that they have on the ends, on the bookends, and then the solid players in the middle. Yeah, I don't know if you can name a better rotation of players than what Washington has. And that, we were so excited with Chase Young. There was all that talk, should they go after a quarterback? And, you saw how good Justin Herbert ended up being. But Young was everything that we could have hoped for and more. And that
more, yeah.
year. He's still learning what he's doing out there. I mean, really, they've got some studs, and they're in such a fortunate position where not only are these players good, but they're all young. Everyone's on their rookie contract. They're cheap as to be for their production. We've got obviously Chase Young is the headline. Rookie of the year, number 2 overall pick. Philly found out in week 1 you cannot just one-on-one with him because he's too good. There was some time in the middle of the season, people were like, oh, is he hitting that rookie wall? No, he was getting double and triple teamed. So every team recognized they had to focus on him. And then on the other side, the guy who led the team in sacks, Montez Sweat, who's come on 2 years in a row now. He really emerged at the end of 2019. He made some plays. Remember that Thanksgiving game against Dallas, picking it off in the air, running it in. I mean, he is only emerging. And then I think we talk about the line being the strength of the team, but the real strength then is those D tackles up the middle. Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, Tim Settle. And that line is actually, what's kind of scary is it's only getting better next year with the return of the injured Matt Ioannidis.
Yes.
Like they have a chance to be even better. The big question for me is I think they need to figure something out as a backup to both Chase Young and Montez Sweat. They had the injury this year of Ryan Kerrigan. He was able to be that guy to kind of teach and groom Chase Young while he didn't start. He definitely, gave him some mentorship in the locker room, probably on the practice field and stuff. But they need someone behind him. And I think they need to be looking at, if one of these guys goes down, do we really want Casey Toohill and James to be in there at a full-time? And both guys were 7th-round picks last year. Great to develop these guys. Great. But you need, you're going to need that third person, that one, that solid backup. And then this is the part I love playing, armchair general manager, at draft time and at free agency time. I'll tell you this one. This is the one time where I would not want to be in the job that these guys have. Where the only downside, it's kind of, I'm going to end my little segment on a little bit of a downer, is what do we do with these guys? Because some of them are coming up on contracts. I was looking through things. Jonathan Allen is his coming up. 2021 is his last year. There's talk of they're probably going to extend him, but do you realize it's going to cost like $15, $16, $17 million a year to extend him? And I'm looking at some of his stats and wondering, when you compare some of his stats versus some of the other guys that are getting that much, Fletcher Cox, Aaron Darnold's getting $22 million a year. It's like, I love Jonathan Allen. I love his leadership. I know they love his leadership. I love that he's from Ashburn. He's a solid overall player, but is he worth $16 million a year? The year behind him is Deron Payne coming up, who he may not have as many stats, but he also is getting double teamed a lot. He's occupying guys. There's more to it being down in the trenches than just how many sacks do you have. What impact do you have on the run game? What other, how much attention are you getting? Tim Settle had 5 sacks this year in his third season. This is his last year. He's not going to stay. Someone's going to pluck him, and they're going to give him more playing time, and you can't fault him. And so it really is it's a tough decision on honestly, like, where do we go? Like, we can celebrate the defensive line. We're going to have a great one more year of some greatness, but what do we do with these guys, and who do we re-sign? Who do we keep? With the idea too is you can't lose Young and Sweat in a couple of years either. What do y'all think? If we've got Allen coming up as a his contract's ending, Deron Payne's the year after him, what do you think we should be doing? What should we be looking at?
Well, look, I want to honestly, we already know Chase and Montez Sweat. I think Matt Ioannidis, how he plays this year, because he's on a team-friendly contract, isn't he?
He has 2 more years of around, if you average it, $8 million a year. That's weird.
Yes, very friendly.
Yeah, and he's a solid D tackle that we didn't have this year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think with him, obviously Ron Settle, keep him. I and Ab, I'm gonna send it to you on this. I don't know that I'm paying Jonathan Allen all that money.
Oh man, so this is a hard argument because like this is the argument about winning now or and this is why it's so important to get a quarterback now, not groom a quarterback and everything like that, because we're literally on a win now because we're not going to have these guys for a long time.
No.
And we need and that's why we're on a win now kind of schedule. Like we need to do that. We need to do something now. And so to pay or not to pay, man, that's the argument. And honestly, to me, I think I'd push it out one more year. I think I'd wait to Deron Payne's time to start paying the defensive tackles because I'm with you. I'm not like, even though we got the cap space and everything like that, I just don't think you do it right now. You know what I'm saying? Like we could touch up on a lot of other positions right now and everything like that. And this is I mean, we could backload the contract, you know what I'm saying? Make the majority of the contract due on its last year where we might have to restructure it or something like that. But and then make most of his money like bonuses and everything like that. We could make it work like that, but it's just it's hard for me to just sit there and be like, look, we're going to let you be 15 to 18 million against the cap right now. And that's hard for a defensive tackle when you have so many more needs and we're not excelling like we are on the defensive line in other positions. You know, like we're above average and running back, above average at our number one wide receiver. But other than that,
we need help. Yeah.
I mean, the defensive line is that we're only thing we're excelling in, and that's it. So, you know, I just don't see it doing it right now.
Well, and the good thing is, you know, this year Jonathan Allen is on contract. It's his 5th year. He's $10 million. That's, you know, for being a starter defensive tackle, that's manageable. You can do it. And I'm with you. I tried to take back a couple of weeks ago. You told us to stop thinking with our heart. So as I was thinking about this, I said, you know what? Realistically, if you look at Jonathan Allen's, you know, since being a starter, he's 60 tackles a season. You know, so every year 62, 64, whatever. 60 tackles. He's gone from 8 sacks, 6 sacks. Last year he only had 2 sacks. Now he did lead the line in hurries and pressures, and so he's making an impact. But it's also like, if you think of Fletcher Cox, man, you think of, we're going up against the Eagles, and I sit there and worry, but man, I hope Brandon Sheriff can slow down Fletcher Cox. You know, Aaron Donald was dominant when we played the Rams. That's not exactly Jonathan Allen's game. You know, it's like he's a good player. He's that 8 million, 10 million. You know, the thing about that he's got going for him versus Deron Payne is he wears the C on his jersey. If I can do this backwards, you know, so that, you know, and it that matters though. Ron's looking for leaders in the locker room, and he is a leader. And so I think that's going to factor. I mean, I hear a lot of these reporters say he's coming back. They're going to extend him. But I'm with you where it's like, I don't know if that's the right deal. I think you should let him play out this 5th year. Basically, between him and Payne, it's sort of like one of you two is going to get extended. This is your year. Let us know who is it going to be. Because we're either going to let Allen walk, and then you extend Payne, you know, and keep it going. It's like, let him duke it out.
Yeah. And so they are interchangeable. Like, and I hate to say it like that, you know what I'm saying? Because both, it's to have both men is like, it's a blessing. It's a very big blessing to have both of them. But we can't pay everyone on the offensive line. You be stuck like Dallas is with their offensive line. You know what I'm saying? Like Like you can't like they try to pay their whole offensive line, and you can't do that. They try to do that with all their offensive players, Cooper, Zeke, and Dak. Guess what? They can't pay Dak now. So
You can't pay everybody.
like you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
people teams and fans tend to forget the business side of this of this talk, and they're like, oh, Dan Snyder has all the money in the world, he can pay him. That's not
that's not how it works.
Like
we all have
he
this
has
much
a lot
space.
of money, but he has this much money to work with.
Right.
It's called a budget, and y'all don't know nothing about budget.
All right. So real quick, before we move on from this, I got to shout out Chris Thompson, who was definitely saying there might potentially be some guys coming into free agency. I looked at the list. We already know, certain guys are off the list, but then you have guys like maybe a Leonard Williams. We don't know how much he'll be. You have guys like Ryan. Not Ryan. Dominican Sue's a free agent. Trent Murphy, who we used to have. Everson Griffin's out there. Alex Okafor. So we have a couple guys that we can look into to say, hey, maybe we can try it. Maybe we can work it out. But I think the fact that we have at least another year, let's get what we can out of them, see how it goes. And a lot of it is how good they do this year. Let's be good. We had a great year last year. But now we know how good you are. You only rise up better. You can only get better. You know what I mean? If you degress, well, there's the door. I mean, let's be honest.
And that's what you got to do is try not pay premium to keep your own players, but sometimes you got to go into the free agency and be like, look, I'm gonna look for a player that can do almost what you can do, but cheaper. So you know what I'm saying? I can't replace you, but I'm gonna try my damnedest too. So there's a fine balance of this conversation that people don't like to see or try to even bring into the conversation.
Well, I think the best thing they could do is get into the situation they got with Tim Settle. He was rated to be this like second, third round pick, and they got him in the fifth round. He slid, and he's turned into a quality player that took some time to develop, and he's going to get paid now after this year because he'll have more opportunity. That's what they need to be looking at. They need to be looking at depth and realizing we're good now, we're good today, we're good next year, but then we're going to need to have some less expensive options that can, like you said, do almost exactly what you do at a fraction of the cost.
Exactly. And stay tuned with us in the coming weeks because we will be doing sort of a mock draft in our way to kind of figure out where we go with that 19th pick and then who might be that guy that's like a Tim Settle or that's like a Settle that we bring him in and he's projected a lot higher. Maybe he slides down to us, but he's a solid piece, a solid cog. Because like you said, Settle had 5 sacks this year? You know what I mean? Settle played a major role with that, filling in that gap that Matt Ioannidis left for us.
Yep.
So, definitely shout out to that. And we'll definitely be looking into that in the coming weeks. But I'm going to move on. Topic number 2, with this defense, Abs, I'm coming to you, man. Your spot that we should hit in the draft, linebackers, man. So who we got, man? What we looking for? Where we going with it?
So let me say this real quick. If we gave a draft to the three position points, so defensive line, linebackers, and secondary. If we get a grade to these position points, I think we all agree that defensive line A+. You know what I'm saying? I think we all can agree that. Secondary B.
Yeah.
What a good day. What a good day.
Yeah.
It's close to that C+. It's close to that C+.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Linebackers F. Like, I come on, bro. Like, honestly, I know we complain, moan, bitch about wide receivers, but linebackers, bro, I say that, like, to me, that's the weakest point in our on our team. Not just defense, on our team. Like I think we would, like, people blame the quarterback for why we were dysfunction last year, and to me, it's because of the linebackers. I don't know. I don't know if you guys were as fed up as I was, but these long runs that these teams were going on us. You know what I'm saying? We have one of the best defenses, but we can't. These guys are doing 20+ yards, 40+ yard runs all over us. But we're one of the best defenses? How? How?
Right.
Like, that's insane to me, bro. Like, it's so crazy to me that these teams can run all over us and we can't even stop them. So let me start off with the starters. The starters were Cole Holcomb, John Bostic, and Kevin Pierre-Louis. Who is that? I don't know who that last dude was. I don't know him. You know what I mean? But he was a starter.
Mm-hmm.
And we picked up Thomas Davis Sr. Did y'all see the whatchamacallit, the mirror challenge when he was just to show that he joined the Redskins or the Washington team? He had the same, like last year, my man. Let me tell you this. Last year, my man, he did 100+ tackles in LA. They were LA Clippers. Chargers, yeah. So he did 100-something tackles over there. Showed out. He said, "Y'all can't tell me nothing, man. I'm 37. I'm still doing it. What?"
Right.
And then he did the mirror challenge, the thing, and then he showed that he was a Washingtonian now.
Yeah.
Why he come over here not to do nothing? Why he come over here just to sit there and be on the sideline? And then I can tell you, he's one of my man's, Anton's mans, because he is he's there for motivation. He's there for moral support.
He's a locker room guy.
That's all that dude was there for, was moral support. Like, come on, man. I don't go make a tackle for real. This dude did nothing all year. Come on, man. I'm tired of bringing people on just to get paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's tiresome. We need to bring you over here and you need to do something to improve our linebacking core. And he didn't even do that. He didn't even do that. So I'm going on to my list. I made up a list of people that I think that, because honestly, so Cole Holcomb, he all right. Like, I rocks with him. I like, he could be a starter on my team. You know what I mean? Like, you okay. You know what I'm saying? So
Cole.
I'm sorry.
Come on back, Cole. North Carolina.
Like my man, he can stay where he's at. You know what I'm saying? John Bostic, I like him because he's consistent. I think you can upgrade though. I think you can upgrade though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He could be a backup, and he doesn't cost too much this year. I want to say $3 million or something like that. We got it. We got you. Like, honestly, you could be a backup for that. You know what I'm saying? You did a lot more than Thomas Davis did. So I'm good with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's easy input here. Like, you can put Kyle Van Noy. No, hold on.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kyle Van Noy. You can put Kyle Van Noy on our team. And he just got released, and he's going to want to show out now. He's going to say, Miami, you done messed up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's too easy, though. That's too easy, though. So I'm going to go a little bit further. Avery Williamson. that man, honestly, Pittsburgh defense. I like Pittsburgh defense. You know what I'm saying? I like that. You know what I'm saying? I still think it's too easy though. So I'm going to get, and then I'm gonna say Christian Kirksey. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, hold on. No. So Avery Williamson actually played half the year with Pittsburgh because when I think it was at the eight game mark, he got traded from the Jets.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
so he went 0-8 for the Jets, then got traded, and overnight was undefeated. But he's legit.
He's legit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's too easy to pick those names. You know what I'm saying? But you guys come here to get the nitty gritty. So let me give you. So there's one more name. I'm gonna just say it's too easy. Okay, Christian Kirksey. Too easy. You know what I'm saying? He got released from Green Bay. And dude's nice too. I'm gonna give you a name so y'all can hate me later. I'm gonna say Reuben Foster.
Wow.
Give me a second. Can I get a second, please? All right.
Yes, please explain.
My man Reuben Foster came to the Redskins or to the Washington football team and did not get a chance to show out. You know what I'm saying? He's a free agent, and honestly, we bring him back veteran minimum, $1 million a year, $1 million this year. You know what I'm saying? Nothing to sign him, and at the worst, we cut him. But at the same time, and the best that he could do is become a starter and then maybe even be a valid backup. Bro, you can't tell me nothing, man. This dude is going to be cheap and there's like a high ceiling. Bro, let's go. Reuben Foster, okay?
You can have him.
Abdul,
I'm not done yet. I'm not done
yet. You're not done?
He's got more.
Can I finish?
Let's go.
If it's more Reuben Fosters, no. But go on.
We'll get Will Compton next. Come on, man.
Yes.
I never liked Will Compton, so that's y'all guy, not me, man. I never liked him. All right, so my other names, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to say B.J. Goodson, Neville Hewitt, and Jayan Brown.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say those guys, and those are, to me, I think those are Ron's guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Guys that aren't going to cost a lot, but they're going to show the hell out regardless. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And Jayan Brown more so, I think he's an everything type of dude, bro. I really do. Yeah. But then I'm going to say this name too, just to put it out there. I really do like Kyle Van Noy, boy, for real. Yes. I really do like that man.
Yeah.
I really, really like that man. So come over here, Kyle. We want you, dog. Miami don't want you, but we want you. Come on over here. We gonna take care of you, bro. And you come lead our defense. Be our Mike.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Now look, let me ask you this. What about KJ Wright?
Any
Seattle?
old?
Let me check.
No.
Any old? Like
yeah, he's 32.
He's in his 30s, you know, you're hitting that 32, 33.
Yeah, man. So to me, I think we need someone around the 30 age maybe to lead at the same time because I'm still on my point about drafting a middle linebacker. I'm still on it, man. I'm still honestly, and this is before our time, before we got together. I wouldn't have been mad at Isaiah Simmons last year, bro. I really wouldn't have been mad at that. I really would not have been mad about that.
Oh, yeah.
And to me, I think there's an Isaiah Simmons type dude in this draft. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Oh, this guy.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
I like it, man. Hey, I appreciate it. I like it. I like where you're coming from with that, man. Some of it. I don't know how I feel
Let
about
me know
Reuben
what y'all
Foster.
think. Let me know what y'all think. What you got?
I don't know how I feel about no Reuben Foster. He had a shot, all right. And Davis, I think that because didn't Davis play in Carolina before he was in LA?
He what?
Thomas Davis.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's one of Ron's guys. I agree with you that Ron's going to try to bring in his guys. But I like some of the guys, except for Reuben Foster. A lot of the other picks you had, I was with that. Will, what are you thinking, man?
Yeah, let's start off with some kumbaya moments, here. And I agree with you with some of the stuff. First thing, I'm going to agree with your philosophy of we got to do something at linebacker because we're getting gashed. And Ron was a former linebacker. And how many times in press conference he bashed those linebackers.
Yep.
During the season at those guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And so I'm with you. I think we need a significant upgrade. I think you need to be looking at a big free agent signing and a draft pick to be meshing with the guys. Cole Holcomb can be one of your starters. You need 2 starters to replace him, And so I think you're looking at – I love your Kyle Van Noy because he's versatile. He can go inside, outside. He was one of Belichick's favorite players. He only left Belichick to go to his other coach, in Miami. So I'm a little bit wondering why did they cut him? Still his versatility and at some point in New England he went down as a down lineman. And here I already was talking about depth on the D line. He might be able to fit it in there a little bit. Love the pick from Tennessee of the linebacker Brown. We need speed, and so we're looking there. I'm also interested. I would wait and see is Levante David going to be available, and if he is, he's a little bit older, but I would pay thank because I think he's going to be Ron's Luke Kuechly type, that leader out there. I mean, and that's what he was for Tampa Bay. If we're going to have like a under the radar, let's give this guy a chance. I was really high on Gerard Davis coming out of Florida when he was drafted by the Lions early. I think he was like a top 10 pick. And it just hasn't meshed. And I don't, who knows if it's coaching. He's had multiple coaching staffs since been there. Maybe it's him not buying in, but maybe he could be someone if we're kind of giving him that chance of here's your chance to make some plays. Here's your chance to start. The thing with Reuben, I was just excited 2 years ago for him to get a chance and see what he can do because everyone loved what he did in Alabama. He was unbelievable there, stopping players, making all kinds of plays. Dude in minicamp for us in 2019 tore his ACL, PCL, MCL, DCL, BCL, ZCL, whatever the hell CLs you have in your knee. He tore the entire thing, all right?
Yeah.
And he has nerve damage. He's got that same thing like Alex Smith where he can't do this type stuff. He's got some nerve damage in that leg. I don't think it's an opportunity. I'm with you hey, if you want to come back, because honestly, they just paid that man $2.5 to $3 million this year to be on injured reserve, to continue to rehab. So it's worth a flyer to say, we will let you come back, veteran minimum, show us what you got. But they paid him $3 million to go away and keep rehabbing this year. So let's give him a shot, but I think it's a real long shot. And I'm sad to say I think it's a long shot because it's just one of those careers that you see man, what could this guy have been? But it almost just seems like he shredded that knee more than most. And hearing from reporters, they talked about how he's nothing like what we thought or what we were used to seeing. It sounds really, really low percentage.
Well, I don't disagree with you. I'm purely talking and give you a chance kind of deal. That's all I'm talking. I'm not saying he's going to do this and do that and everything like that. But what if he can? What if he can come back? You know what I'm saying? I'd say the same thing about Love. Bryce Love. I'd say the same thing about him. You know what I'm saying? He's been here forever. You know what I'm saying? When he gets released or whatnot, or becomes free agent, why not sign him again just to see if there's something there? You know what I'm saying? I'd say the same thing about that. And it'd be cheap. And to me, that's along Ron Rivera's philosophy in how he picks his players. You know what I'm saying? Like low what is it? Low cost, high reward kind of thing. Yeah, right there. Too easy right there, man.
I'd be wary of that knee coming from somebody that had a PCL tear. Nowhere near the extent that he had it, but I would definitely be wary of that knee and having him have been off or been on IR all year. That definitely concerns me. And I mean, just from the aspect of us talking about winning now and signing these guys in the next 1 or 2 years, how long are we going to have to, wait for him to get back up to game speed and get back up to being ready to, to throw him in there and put him in that guy? Like, I'm all about giving a guy a chance, but, we got a window. Like we've all talked about, especially with those linebackers, we got a window. We got to figure out a fill-in guy, somebody that we can throw in there.
But that's the thing. We're not waiting on him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like Will even said it. Get a free agent. Like we need 2 starters. So we're doing free agency. We're doing the draft. Like we're legit still proceeding on. Like we're not depending on this guy. So it's not even like we're waiting to see what he does. We're legit going out there and acting like he's not even there. Like literally, like the best case scenario, he's a good backup. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Somebody that knows the game. He's a vet. He's experienced. We can get him in where he fits in.
And it's cheap.
Maybe. Yeah, and it's cheap. And actually, to go back on both of y'all's topics, is Kerrigan's? I know he's a free agent. Is he gone yet, or is he's just out?
A free agent.
That's a great point. I can't believe I didn't even mention that in my segment. Shame on me. I think he's gone. I think he wants more snaps. I don't think he was happy getting 20 to 30 snaps a year, a game last year, and I think he wants more opportunity, and I think he'll get it. How productive he'll be, I don't know, but I think he'll get it.
I don't disagree with that. I've been saying that all year. That's why I was this seemed like the least Ron Rivera thing that I've ever seen Ron Rivera do. Like, it's all a business and everything like that, but he didn't treat the Kerrigan situation like it was a business. To me, I would have traded that man the first chance I got, for real. Knowing that you're not going to play, like, come on, man. Knowing that you're not playing this man like a starter, he should have been traded first chance that he got, and he did.
Where's Anton? Because that's his segment time. Now,
this guy.
Because just like Thomas Davis, I mean, Ryan Kerrigan was there as a locker room guy.
Well, that exactly.
Chase and Ron, when he's trying to change the culture, he's trying to get rid of the knuckleheads that we've had. Ryan Kerrigan is not one of those knuckleheads.
Yeah.
I understand that, but not at no $10 to $15 million a year. Hell no. No. You could be a hoover guy from the fucking sideline, bro. Like you ain't gonna be. I'm not paying you.
Hey, watch the F-bomb, man.
Sorry, apologies. I get emotional. I get emotional about this.
But look, hey, Will, I'm glad you said that. I do feel bad. Hey, guys, if you don't know, Anton, these guys are pressing matters. He has some things he had to take care of. I feel bad because he's not able to defend himself. Because this is one of the guys that he would have been like, hey, it's a rah-rah. Like he's a guy, a team guy,
I'm not paying you to do that, though. We got fans for that. Like,
honestly, in my personal opinion, I think, Will, you brought this up on one of the previous episodes. I think it was, I hate to say it, but I think it was because how close he was to the Redskins record of getting the most sacks. They wanted him to do that. He didn't have to play, but you know how much he played on the field, so he didn't really have to play that much. He got the record. Now we can wipe our hands with it, and there it is, and be done with it.
I don't like it. I don't. I really don't. For real.
Hey man, I don't know if I can play on your team, man. You'd be cold. You'd be like, bruh, you just had a great game, but you got to go.
Yeah. I see you next week at the family dinner. Like, bye. Right.
Right. It'd be like, why are you so mad, man? What's wrong? I don't know what his problem is. We gotta move on. We gotta move on. And I'm gonna cover my man Anton's part. We're doing the secondary. And I gotta shout out my man Ab taking care of us. So the positives about us, look, like we said, B-, C+. We had times where we were really good and we really looked like, okay, nice. But then there were times where it was just like, do we have anybody outside of the D line? You know what I mean? Like they were some team went over the top on us, But look, so we were second in passing yards against. We were tied for second in yards per attempt. We were fifth in interceptions with 16, first in 20 yards plus plays, second in passing touchdowns, okay, sixth in sacks, 13th in passing yards against, and tied for 10th in yards per carry. That secondary played, I think, above maybe their level. We understood. So let me break down the starters. This past year, we had Kendall Fuller at corner. We also had Darby. We know Darby is now a free agent. We'll discuss how we feel about that in a minute. We had Landon Collins, who had his injury issues, and then we had Cameron Curl, who had played out of his mind. Definitely by far the top, secondary guy that we had outside of Darby. Okay, we had Jimmy Moreland at our nickel, and then we had Jeremy Reeves, Troy Apke, and DeShaver Everett at free safety. Now, like we were talking about before, DeShazer Everett, I like the guy. He's a thumper. He's not a center fielder. You know what I mean? Apke, like Ab was telling me before, like speed. He's got speed for days, but he zangles. I don't know what happens when he comes on the field. I'm sorry. I've seen you play multiple times, and I just get that Reed Dowdy, Adam Archuleta whiff, and I just can't with you, man. I cannot. You know what I mean? So, and Reeves, actually, you guys have put me on the Reeves because he's one of those guys like who's the guy you just mentioned, Kevin Pierre-Louis, where I was like, Reeves, who's that guy? He fit in. He played where he played. We also had Fabian Monroe, and like I said before, Ronald Darby. And Darby, I liked what he did. He had some bad games, but at the same time, he was consistent. He was one of our guys. He's one of the guys I think we need to bring back. He's one of the guys I think we need to put somebody into focus, just because of us and going back to that small window. Because we have that small window, let's solidify this defense. So if we're making a run in the next couple of years, we have these guys on, and we don't have to worry about who, we're missing this piece or we're missing that piece. Honestly, I liked what we did. I'm not gonna sit here and go overboard and say I loved it, because there were some games that I definitely felt like had our secondary played up to its potential or even better, we would have still been in the games, if not winning them. You know what I mean? So that definitely hurt. As far as going into free agency, and I want to ask you guys about this because I've talked to you about who I think we should get. First and foremost, I definitely think we should take a look at Rashad Breeland. He's a free agent. He played for us before we drafted him, and then he, just went over to KC. And hey, he come on back. I feel like he'd be somebody that would solidify another side, and we could put him in certain places where he'll be perfect for that set. McCourty out of New England. I love his pedigree. Him and his brother are studs. I honestly think McCourty is one of those guys that has played for Bill Belichick. He's played for defensive guys. He knows what he's doing. Hey, he can bring in that leadership. You know what I mean? Being on a successful team, he can help us out. Will, one of the guys that you mentioned earlier that I was talking about, a little older, Xavier Rhodes. He's a vet. He's got talent. He knows the game. And with us having a lot of younger guys, I definitely want somebody in that backfield that can kind of be like a quarterback. And then another guy, but he's going to be a little higher. I think he's like 13 mil. Is AJ Bouier. Played for Jacksonville. He played somewhere else last year. Let me look that up. I can't remember. Denver, right. He played Denver last year. So I think he could come in if we put that money. And like you said, Ab, the linebackers or the O-line and the corners and the secondary are two spots that I think get really overlooked in the draft. And, everybody wants to get some free agent or this or that. Those are places that if you can have those things locked down, that could change an entire game. You know what I mean? If you have guys that can make sure that nobody goes over the top of their heads, then you don't have, like with Tom Brady with 8 seconds left before halftime against the Packers, throwing a touchdown and basically putting that game out of reach. You know what I mean? Like, these are the type of things that, we didn't necessarily have to deal with as much of that, but you need to have to prepare for that if we're talking about going deeper into the playoffs. So how do you feel? Like we said, we're C+ on how we kind of felt our secondary did. And Ab, I'm going to come to you real quick. How do you feel about our secondary? Where do you think we should go in free agency?
All right, yeah. So I got 2 pages on this, bro. We are garbage on cornerback, bro. Garbage. Yeah. We honestly, other than Fuller, you know what I'm saying? I don't have too much confidence in it. So my picks for corners are, like you just said it. Did you say Patrick Peterson? I didn't hear you say Patrick Peterson. Like, he's out there.
I didn't say him. I know he's out there, but I just didn't say. I wasn't going that high.
He's a little bit older. Those are so I'm saying the obvious real quick. Patrick Peterson, Richard Sherman, and Shaquille Griffin. Those are the obvious right there. But to me, I don't think that's the route you go. So me, I agree with you. I think we go Darby. I like Rashad Breeland. I like Troy Hill. And another first round, and I'm gonna say, so Mike Hilton is out there too. I like that, but I'm gonna say another first rounder, but I don't think he had the chance to prove himself yet. Garyon Conley, I say we give him, like, he's gonna be cheap too. The Raiders picked him up and like 2-3 years ago, and he was traded to Houston, and like, you know what I'm saying? I think we should do a flyer on him. One thing you didn't do, bro, is talk about the free safety. So free safety is something that we need to talk about too, because we can't just keep riding out with Jeremy Reeves every single time. Our free safety can't produce or they get hurt. So free safety, Justin Simmons is out there. Those are the obvious. Justin Simmons, Anthony Harris. Honestly, I've been talking about this boy for years, man. And I'm trying to tell you, it's about that time for him to come to us. Trey Boston. I'm trying to tell you, man, this boy, honestly, he gets on these contracts and then all of a sudden they release him. I don't know if I don't know if it, because he produces on the field, but he may have like a locker room issue or something like that that's not brought up a lot because he can't stay on a team. So that's a little bit weary right there. You know what I'm saying? Right. So he might have to be here for a 1-year contract like himself right now. But my go-to picks is Marcus May from, I think, Steelers. Marcus May.
Yes.
But I'm gonna take you guys. I'm gonna take you guys back, way back. I'm gonna take you guys back, way back.
Come on.
Okay.
This guy.
I'm gonna tell you. DJ Swearinger, bro.
Dude, come on!
I'm done. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm done, man. You know what I'm saying? My dude was too nice. Too nice.
Yes.
How you be too nice and still get released, bro? Because you disagree with the coach? That means to me, that means the coach ain't how's a nice way to say it? It's soft. Capital SOF. capital T, soft. Like, you know what I'm saying? That dude is way soft. If you can't handle some criticism, that's right. Like,
Right,
you know what I'm
right,
saying? So bring DJ back, bro. Bring him back,
He's a
man.
monster.
DJ and Curl and DJ and Collins, I'm all about it, man. Bring them back, man.
Oh, I like that. Oh, I definitely like that. And what was it? What wasn't it? He got into it with the coach or something like that.
Jay Gruden, he got into it, and Jay Gruden was like, "I don't like what you said. I'm releasing you." Boy, get out of there with this soft stuff.
No, he was a monster, man. I swear, and it was the energy. It was that energy on defense, man. I remember everybody saying, I'll send this to you, Will. I remember everybody saying he almost reminded you of Sean Taylor with that energy, that where he would hit. Will, what you think, man?
I got like nothing to say, man. This. I'm not supposed to agree with Ab on everything, and he like basically had my entire notes here.
Yo, we gotta cut the show. Yo, we gotta stop agreeing. What's going on here, man?
I got nothing, man.
I thought you were going to disagree with me this whole time, bro. Come on, man.
Yo, hey, Anton, where you at, man?
I'm with you where I am. I know. I'm really free safety. They do like Jeremy Reeves, and so they want him to get some competition. But I'm with you. If we could go out and get like Marcus May, to that could really solidify being that center fielder. I think Trey Boston is a name to watch. I mean, he's been with Ron before, and I think he could. Guy I would love to get, but I don't think he's going to be available. The best of those guys, I think, is Marcus Williams out of New Orleans, but I don't think they're going to let him talk. But I love him as well. But I'm with you. They got to do something. I actually, dude, the past couple weeks, I've been looking at DJ Swearinger Redskin jerseys. Is back on eBay. I was looking at it. I keep looking at it. It's $30. I'm like, I could do this. I could do this. I mean, I live in Columbia, South Carolina. He played at USC. So, I mean, he is loved here. So I could wear that around and people would be like, oh, hey, DJ, you know.
Right.
I'm with you on corners. I'm really concerned, too. I think Darby's going to be re-signed. I think he wants to be here because he's from D.C. That's why he took that flyer last year. I think they liked him. He knows the defense. He didn't suck in it the way he did in Philadelphia, and I think he may recognize that. So I think we've got that number two. And I think we need to be looking, though, at we need somebody else. I went to JMU for grad school, so I love JMU Jimmy. I'll always root for him, and I'd love for him to get a chance, but not as a starter. I don't see him, but he's depth, but they need more, and I think they need to be looking in the draft. And if somebody slides, like if J.C. Horn slides to them, or one of the other corners, slides to them, he's the son of Patrick Surtain Jr. If he slides, you look at getting that, using the first round pick on, as Sean said, if you can get a lockdown corner, what could that do to really, really, change the defense around? So I think they need to be looking in the draft for someone who can come in and develop play. If he's someone who he's the third or fourth corner this year, but he takes over as your number two next year. So I want to improve the course. I just don't want to spend a ton of money on it. And the names you guys said, Breland, Darby, like I'm on board. Someone is going to get less money than Kendall Fuller, but he can be a starter.
Nice. Yeah. So, appreciate that. Definitely shout out to Anton on that, because we know you would have brought up some guy that you're like, let's give him everything. Trey Apke, let's keep him. He's a locker room guy. I believe in him. So we look forward to you coming back, Anton, so you can bring us your bits, your pieces, man. Oh man. All right, we're coming towards the end of the show, and one of the topics that's been huge for us in these last couple weeks is coming to a head right now. So we're gonna do one, like it, love it, or hate it. Redskins announced this week Alex Smith will be getting released. Will, I'm coming to you. You like it, love it, or hate it, man?
I like it. I like it because I think it's necessary. It's kind of seems funny, unfortunate timing wise with the article last week, and then you cut him this week. But I think most intelligent football fans will realize those two things are not related. I think if you cut him this week, I think you're doing actually him a solid. You give him a chance to get a head start on free agency and really get a chance to look at where he may want to go, because he's free to talk to teams where the other guys are not. So I like that idea. And I think they've been looking around and trying to figure out what are they going to do. I believe they've got a plan that is involving beyond who they have on the roster right now. So I do. I think it's the right move from a football stance. I'll miss the dude, the person. I'll miss what he brings on the sideline. I'll miss what we don't see he brings in the locker room and on the practice field. I'll miss all that because he's a good person to have. Yeah, roll your eyes. But football-wise, it was time.
Yep. Ab.
I love it. I'm trying to say something like motivational and like thoughtful, like Will is doing, but honestly, it ain't even all that serious. I think this is the end of his career, for real, for real. Like, I'm just putting it out there. Like I appreciate what this man did for us. I appreciate the hard work and the struggle that he went through, but that's it, man. No one's signing this man, bro. Especially the fact that he could not finish the season this past year, bro. Like, come on, man. Come on, dude. Like, nobody's gonna pay you $10 million or to be their starting quarterback. That, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's low for a quarterback. So no one's gonna do that. I don't see it happening at all. Not one bit. I don't even see you being a stopgap quarterback. So honestly,
I disagree.
What's up?
I disagree. I think
and you're wrong.
Finally!
And you're wrong. So it's okay.
I don't think he's going to get brought in as a starter anywhere, but I could see, like, what's Chicago going to do right now? And guess who's Chicago's coach? Dude who came from Andy Reid in Kansas City. What's going on in Jacksonville? He's going to start for Trevor Lawrence, but hey, he can be that mentor for him with, guess who? His old college head coach. I think there's places for him for a year, and that's about it.
He's not dependable, though, and that's it. Even as a backup, that's the job description, dependable. And you're not even that. You're not even that. So, like, that's the reason why I say it. Like I said, I appreciate the man. Thank you for what you've done for us. Like, honestly, you're in my heart for real, for real. Like, you're like an awesome person, awesome player. I appreciate everything that you've done, but it's time to say goodbye to Alex Smith in the NFL.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Honestly, yeah. So I'll finish off. I like it, but I agree. I agree in the sense that I don't love it because of the fact that we're releasing him to potentially go somewhere else where then he could potentially get hurt. I agree with you, Ab, where I'm like, bro, I can't, in good faith, I cannot sit here and sign you and try to bring you back as my backup, if not for anything else, and just to be a mentor, to be what Anton says, my morale guy. You come in there and people are like, yeah, look what you did. Like, look, we're not taking anything away from the fact that, hey, you were on one leg. You almost died from the surgery. You were out for 2 years. You came back. You did an amazing job. Like, yes, you got the comeback player of the year. But we also saw your family. And look, I'm going to go back to that video that we saw when he found out he was finally coming back. And then his family was out there, and then they opened up all the champagne bottles, and they were spraying it with the champagne. The first thing I thought was, oh, snap. He might slip and fall, and then it's over. Why are you spraying with champagne? What are you doing? No. So, look, get out of the league. Man, come on, bro. I understand. We've never tasted – I mean, Ab and I played – high school football, but we've never tasted that NFL adulation coming out of the locker room, everything. So, I understand that that's hard to let go of, but man, you got to think about your kids. You got to think about your future. Get going, go home. You've had a great career. You know what I mean? He was a number one pick, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah. So look, you got the money, you've got everything. You did the impossible, coming back from an injury that nobody comes back from, or not very many people do. So I got to give you a lot of credit for that. But the fact that you could potentially go somewhere else and then re-injure yourself, and then I'm sorry, man, you got to retire. You got to retire. So I like it. I like that he's leaving. I hate the fact that he could potentially go somewhere else, because everybody knows what's wrong. Everybody knows you have a bum leg. You know what I mean? And this is, like we said, like we've always said, this is a business. So people are going to come after you. I'm not going to lie.
He can't even walk fast, Sean.
Right,
he can't even walk fast.
Fellas, Alex Smith is going to start a game next year.
Oh, yeah. I think, look. But as we've seen, all right, to Ab's point, yes, he can't walk fast, but as we've seen with Tom Brady, and Dan Marino, as long as you can shuffle your feet and get around in the little pocket, and if you have a line, that makes a difference. Now, to Will, yes, he will start somewhere, because there's still a Detroit Lions. There's still the Bengals might be, I know Burrow's there, but he might get hurt. There's still Jacksonville with Urban Meyer there, and the Jets. You still have these teams that they have nothing at quarterback whatsoever. So he'll find a spot. Somebody will pay him money. I'm just saying, man, please go home.
Let me say this, and we can end on this.
All right.
If Alex Smith gets signed before Colin Kaepernick does, then I know the NFL is on some shit. So I'm just putting that out there, okay?
Well, all right. Now, and to go with that, I would say don't hold your breath, because it definitely is a possibility.
But that's what I'm saying. You already know. You already know.
Yeah.
So you already know what it's about then. So I'm just saying that. Prepared for next week when we talk about.
Let's go. Yo, let's go. Yo, and one more time, we got to shout out our main man, Anton. He'll hopefully be back with us next week, man. Has some pressing matters. So we definitely want to, shout him out for the show. But, great show, guys. Great show. Absolutely. We hit all the points we need to. Oh, yeah. I definitely look forward to Wednesdays. Not going to lie about that.
No lie. I love it, guys.
So, come back and join us in the coming weeks, because we will be breaking down what we think Washington should do in the draft. We're definitely going to be hitting a lot more free agent news, because I believe on either the 9th or the 10th is the last day that you can franchise tag people. Right. And I know the 17th, was it the 15th or the 17th is when free agency fully opens up?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
The 15th, the 15th, they can start talking with agents. And so then the 17th, they make it official. So, that Monday, we're going to start hearing about some contracts.
Let's go. Hey, and shout out our buddy, Will, our buddy Jack Niedermeyer is watching the show. What's up, man? So he said, good show, guys. Hey, guys, audience, ladies and gentlemen, we want, this is what we want. We want to bring to you a good show about the team that we love, man. You already seen the passion we come with. And look, next week, I promise you, there will be a little bit of argument. These guys aren't going to be butt buddies again.
Too much kumbaya. Too much.
Right, like we should hold hands. Like, get out of here with this noise. All right, man. So we will be back next week. Tune in Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Don't miss it. Washington Football Weekly. Got my man. Where is he at? What direction am I going here? All right, there we go.
Right there.
Yeah, Abdul Lowe, the Shirtless Wonder, Dub K, Will Kramer. You know the name. S to the P, Sean Spencer. We'll see y'all next week, guys.
Be blessed, everyone.